Much as I like my dwarf friend, I almost think I need to get rid of him for her. Because I don't really use him outside of battle, to be honest. I don't want to get rid of Kai because Kai is my tank. What little tanking he does. I wonder if they'll still carry the conversations like they're there, but they're not there. Know what I mean? Wonder. All right, boys.
I have been thinking about the moon.
Not this again.
There is no Adra on Bilafa. None that we can see in a telescope anyway.
I suppose that's true.
What if someone died on Bilafa? Where would their soul go?
No one is going to die on the moon.
Not with that attitude.
Don't you have to get to the moon first? Alrighty. Let's go outside. Still need to find those 2 locations for the idol. Logging camp, depressions, River Fork Beacon. This is a godless rune. Find clues about the locations. We did that. Hidden in ruins of heathens long ago, the Auklet of Skulls sings in silent song. Godless sinkhole. Sunken village. Vested camp. Riverside cave. Abandoned farms. It's gotta be here. Somewhere in here. Hidden in ruins. Left alone in fallow fields. The ritual blade thirsts for skin. Fleshly peeled. I wonder if that's somewhere over here in the farmer's market. somewhere over here. Or it could be. Maybe not. But the ruins are this way. It really could be anywhere. So I don't know why I can't take that arrow out. Maybe not here. Let's see. And then the effigy necklace. Left alone in fallow fields. Ritual blade, thirst for skin freshly peeled. I've been all here.
Apparently I overpaid with a credit card. They sent me a check for $3.
Wow, we're rich. Not these days. Okay, let's see. Still have this down here. Uh-oh. Sorry, I felt the sneeze coming. Like, oh no. Oh no, I'm a little pain. All right. Well, the only fields that I can think of need to go down and investigate this. I feel like if it was It would have been in her home. Abandoned farms. There's a note. Don't see anything here. Oh, hey. Quiet slave that judged these lands and found them barren. We will not farm that which has no life. The harvest will fail with or without us. When death finds you, remember that you did not heed the warning. Oh, sacrificial dagger. Nice.
Fiddle with him there.
You fiddle with him there. I don't want to fiddle with him there. Let's see. Oops, didn't mean to hit my mic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think there's anything up there. Can't even get up there?
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe so. Ah. We have made. Oh, she could have just gone there. Oh, yeah, that's the. Alrighty. Hidden in the ruins of heathens long ago. Got no clue. Alright, let's go back to camp. Let's go back to camp.
Envoy? Hard to imagine what Giada's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that. And she deserves it. Right, changing the subject? Oh, good. Let's have it. Anyway, what do you need? Ask away. I think you know almost as much as I do at this point, Amakuo. Not sure what else to say. Right.
Is that all you want to talk about?
Right. I'm sure you'll find it absolutely gripping. Go ahead. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Giada's a mystery to me. Animancers give me the freakus, and for good reason. Most of them would just as soon turn your soul into jewelry as look at you. Giada seems different. She's smart, thoughtful, and she's got a spine, too. You can tell when someone needs extra help out here, and she doesn't. So, yeah, I don't understand her, but I guess I don't have to, really. Thanks for talking.
Thank you again for letting me join you. An Animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an Animancer feels different without Fior Messiverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. You're forgetting all the bridges I burned on my way out. No, that part of my life is over. At least now I have a place I can call my own.
Not much to offer aside from a messy camp and an old bedroll.
Believe me, that's plenty. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous?
With any luck. Though not through any fault of ours.
A little bit of trouble in moderation can be good for the soul. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so, anyway. Go on, then. I'm listening. Ah, you want a story? Very well. Settle in. It all started about 50 years ago, in the great city of Spirento. A young nobleman by the name of Maxim Vidaro sought to inherit a distinguished government position. We'll get to that. A distant cousin cheated Maxim out of the title. He was devastated, his political future uncertain. No one lifted a finger to help. Not the banks, not the merchants, or the politicians. So, Maxim did what Valians do best. Not exactly, but close. Maxim plotted his revenge. They say he prayed to Scan, the effigy, god of rebellion and defiance, to ask for a blessing. And Scan answered. Take their best and brightest, their heirs, their scholars, their futures, to the far side of the world, never to return. And Maxim did just that. He gathered a following and left the Valian republics, giving thanks to his dark god. We prefer to call it an intellectual haven of free thinkers, but it's true that most of us are Animancers. Spirento was full of Animancers, many of them in debt, and Maxim was a wealthy patron. They needed each other. So the Animancers followed Maxim all the way out here, including my parents, Quilici, and others around town. At the time, this place was an Animancer's dream. No oversight, limited government, and soil rich with essence. 40 years later, Maxim vanished. They say the effigy came to collect his soul. Of course, you and I know better. He died peacefully, content that what he made would outlast him. His son has been in charge ever since, for better or worse. I have good reason to be critical, but I also know his life isn't as easy as it looks. He and I might squabble in public from time to time, but we're both just figuring it all out as we go. Thanks for listening. We should do this again.
I love a good ghost story. Just not the dreams I have afterwards.
Hadn't heard all that before. Probably a lesson or two in there.
One of these days you'll have to tell me an Adiran ghost story. You learn a lot about people by what scares them. Let me think. Quilici has a girlfriend, as cute as a button, and as smart as an archmage. That isn't a secret. I'm just happy for him. Have you heard of the incident at Beldereno Pass? 20 settlers lost their lives in a winter storm. Ever since, people have heard ghostly cries from a nearby cave. Fascinating, isn't it? Tragic, of course, but fascinating. Sorry to disappoint you, but I haven't heard anything new of late. Being an outcast means being out of the loop. What are you so curious about?
Everything.
Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Just not too grounded. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. Maybe even himself. Kai wears his confidence like a mask. We all do. No one wants to project their frailties. But in his case, hiding behind it amplifies his better qualities. So I say, let him have his mask. If there's another side to him, he'll show us when he's good and ready. No need to rush a natural process.
Rush it. Rush it.
Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him.
Seem to attract the wounded.
Good question. Mental and emotional pressure, specifically. Marius could hunt the great western stag if he set his mind to it, but his own feelings elude him. When he wants to find himself, give him room to do so, but don't push him. Just be there to catch him. We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you handed your killer to the Steel Garrote. Much like tossing meat to a pack of wolves. Fior Messiverno tolerates you well enough. No doubt thanks to my influence. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fior's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using animancy as the whip.
Ooh.
Turn the living lands into a garden. Anything's possible, but there are significant problems to overcome. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand.
Maybe I have it in the palm of my hand. Oh.
My father thought so too. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. But the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality.
Hmm.
Everything went wrong.
Everything always looks good on paper. Not so good when you actually put it to the test.
No. To my knowledge, the accident was no everyday occurrence. But neither was the experiment. My mother transgressed on nature, on existence itself. Still, I don't understand what went wrong. When I do, then I can finish her work. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Kolichi got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. My mother and father didn't know the risks, and I can't stop thinking about them. Caution and experience will stop us from repeating their mistakes. I can't rule anything out, but I suspect the Dream Scourge had something to do with it. It lives in the essence of the living lands, corrupting whatever it touches. And if I'm right, that means it's been here a long time. Or the forces behind it. That's all I care to say for now. At least, about this topic. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stare. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change Animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got.
I wonder if her parents brought the Dream Scourge forward. Like everything was peaceful, but they initiated something that forced it to come out.
I hardly think your Emperor would approve. Good thing he's on the other side of the world. No Animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first.
Your surname is Castell.
That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Casto led the Valiant Trading Company in the Deadfire Archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of Animancy, and apparently he had interests here. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castle is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valiant Trading Company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, and whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. Unfortunately, that's all I know. Whether or not Castle succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream.
Have you ever tried Animancy yourself?
Now that you mention it, I did try and awaken my soul to become fully aware of my past lives. Every Animancer tries and fails. It's practically a rite of passage. So, one evening, I crept into the workshop and cobbled an invention together from spare parts. Amateur work. Then I turned it on. Big mistake. The next thing I knew, it was morning. I was floating in the fountain, and my head was pounding like a drum.
You don't need Animancy for that. Just rum and a crew on shore leave.
That answers a lot of questions, honestly.
Sometimes I wonder, what if it actually worked? What if all of this happened before, and I'm just reliving the events of a past life? I try not to think about it too much. Ah, a simple question. with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk.
So true.
Indeed. Don't get me wrong, this invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand. One lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. What's on your mind? What do you want to know? I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp.
Is that everything?
You know me. Always ready with an answer. Let me think. Sorry to disappoint you, but being an outcast,
All right.
if I must,